Well, good morning, family from around the world, wherever you are on the planet today. Greetings to you. Uh, we all know what needs to be done in Niger. Uh, we, as a people, African peoples in the diaspora around the world, we stay focused on this situation in Niger. The Nigerian peoples uh, breaking loose from colonialism, from France occupation, invasion of their country, and the African leaders know what need to be done in their heart. And we as a people must win in Niger. We can't afford to lose here. We just simply can't afford to lose in Niger, so we have to do what need to be done in order to secure the future of the continent. You ever been in a situation where you just knew in your heart that you had to win this one in order to secure your future? Where in Niger, we have to secure our future. And we will do this by winning in Niger. You can't afford to lose here. If you want to forever break colonialism in Africa, if you want to forever break the opposition force, the power of those that oppress you, you have to win in Niger. You can't give this country up. You just simply can't give it up. And we have to have that mindset. Um, and as uh, I live in America, and I consider the United States my country, but Africa is my home. Those are my peoples. Uh, but I have a certain mindset. When I was growing up, I was in the military, uh, and I went in the military at a young age, and I learned some things there. One thing I did learn: you got to protect, you got to secure your country, you got to secure your investments, and one way of doing that is building a military. Uh, when I was visit Africa, the country I was in, the first thing I noticed, I was just looking around and I, I was thinking in my heart, anyone can come in and take this country. Reason why that's my mindset when I go places, because that's been built in me. You got to secure what belongs to you. You got to secure your land. You got to secure your families. You got to secure your investments, your infrastructure. You got to secure your future. And one of the ways, the first way of doing that is building a military. Because if you don't have a military, someone can simply just come in and take what you have. And there's people out there waiting for those opportunities. So you can't expose yourself. You simply cannot expose your country, your land, your investment, what you have worked hard to build up. You can't expose it. And I looked at the African militaries, and it's just simply there's no security there. You expose yourself in the country. When I what was in, what I learned when I was in the military as a young soldier, uh, was that the number one thing you got to do, you got to secure your country, and you got to work towards to having one of the greatest, if not the greatest, military on the planet. So that's what I learned, and it was instilled in me that we was the greatest military in the world. And most of the peoples in this country, uh, we always lay aside some money. They take taxes out of our monies and to build that military. In order to have peace in your country, you got to have a strong military. And when I look at some countries in Africa, just have a few planes, a few tanks. Now you have many peoples. If I was the president of an African country, the first thing I would do is build a military to secure the hard work that we will be doing in that country. You got to secure that. You got to build a strong military. That's the first thing. You may say, oh, we don't need it. You need it. If you don't, you never have control of your uh, destiny, because someone will come in there and exploit you. So you need a strong military, and you look around. Uh, that's one of the first things you need, and then other countries in the world will begin to respect you, and the members of your country will have confidence, and of their own country. You can be proud of your country, but you want to make sure that your country is secure. Okay, so that's what the peoples in Niger, that's their desire, and that's what they're working towards. That's what the military is working towards. There's nothing wrong with securing your own country. There's nothing wrong with that. You can't depend on anyone else to do that but you. If you have millions of peoples in your country, you have enough means, enough troops. You must do this. You can't think about doing this. You must do it. That's one of the problems that I see in the continent of Africa. You can't expect anyone else to defend you. You have to defend yourself. That's one of the main things you must do in order to secure your infrastructure, your families, your businesses, your hospitals. You can't depend on anyone to do that. You must grow your own food. You got to do these things. Certain things you must do for yourself as a people. You can't depend on anyone else to do that. I know it's been since the 1960s since most African countries gained their independence, and some gained what they call fake independence. And but you've gone along enough to start building your own defense. Okay, if you look at China, it just took a few years for China to get where they are right now. If you go back to the 60s, you never have thought that China would be in a position that is in. China got in alliance with certain countries, and it built itself up. It created opportunities, and it took advantage of those opportunities that came to them. It took advantage, and that's what Africa has to do as a continent. Africa, you need to take advantage of the situation that is before you right now in Niger. You must win this one. France know it can't continue to occupy, to exploit, to dishonor Africa. It knows its time is up. But if Africa does not take advantage of the situation that's before him now, that's before it now, you won't secure your future. You may go another 100 years to find yourself in the same situation, trying to push off those that's trying to take advantage of you. No, you must do it. You can't think about doing it. You had enough time to think about that. You must secure your continent. You must secure your future. You must secure your families. You have to do this. If you don't do it, you're going to continually be exploited. You got to create your own future. You can't wait for someone to come do it. You got to do it. Now I'm telling you the truth. I'm speaking the truth to you. If I was in Africa right now, I'm in the diaspora. Okay, but if I decide to move, some countries is like entertaining, letting people in the diaspora come. But the first thing I would want to know is my investment secure. Now we want to come back to the continent, but our investments have to be secure. And one way of doing that, you got to have a strong military. You got to do that. Oh, we don't need a strong military. Well, if you don't have a strong military, anybody can come and push you around. Okay, anybody can come. So you plan for these things. And in the U.S., one thing we do know, we have confidence. We have problems and troubles in this country. But one thing we know, nobody from around this world is going to come into the U.S. and push us around militarily. They're not going to do it. They're going to think twice before they do it. Okay, and we're not great in numbers. The U.S. Don't have that many people, but the continent of Africa has 1.5 billion people in it. That you're in that range area. You got many people, so there's no way that you should not be protecting yourself. You don't need no other nation to come in to protect you. Before you eat, if you got money, you set some of that money aside for food, for nourishment, and the other part for building a strong military. Okay, you need to do that. You need to think about these things. No, no, no. When I look at Africa's military, I think, what have you been doing? This is year 2023. You must have a strong military. You must put money aside for a military. You must do that. You can't depend on anyone else to defend you. Okay, so you must win. We as a people must win in Niger. If we're serious about our future as an African peoples around the world, we must do this. If we don't win here, we're going to continue to go down that road of being dominated, of being oppressed, of losing around the world. We can't win this one. We got to come together and win this one. In order to be respected around the world, we must win here. We must let the oppressor know that we will not be oppressed any longer. And we're seeking justice, and everything has to be done the correct way. Okay? Well, I think I've said about mostly everything that I wanted to say about the situation in Niger today. In order to be respected as a people around the world, it's not hard to do. Okay? What we're talking about is not hard to do. You got to have a strong military. No one going to pay you no attention if you don't. If you look at China, you got to have a vision for the continent. You got to have a vision, and you got to work together. The African Union, you got to have a vision. You got to stay focused, and do not expose your peoples to danger. You got to build a strong military on the African continent, and so to secure the future, your investments, you got to start using your own peoples to build up that continent. You don't have to have others to come in and build it. It's been proven that African peoples can build. You was building centuries ago. You built the pyramids and great civilizations in ancient times. So you can do it. We got to come back to ourselves and believe that we can do it. If you need roads to be built, you don't have to have another country to come in and build your roads, to build your train systems, to build your infrastructure. You can do that. As a people, we can do it. We did it here in the U.S. You can do it. You've done it in the past. A new generation is rising up in Africa that have the confidence that they can do it. They can build their own militaries. They can defend their own peoples. You don't have to pay no one to come in to defend you. You defend yourself. Read your history. We have to read our history. You can do it. You did it thousands of years ago. You're the same people. Need to dust that colonialism off, that oppression off of us, and rise up and do what we know that we can do. Family, we love you. Got to go.